We're joined by the Scouts Chief Executive, Matt Hyde. Morning, Matt.
Morning.
Nice to have you with us, albeit for yet more bad news, unfortunately. Explain what impact coronavirus and social distancing has had on the Scout movement.
Yeah, well, like many organisations, we're facing funding challenges because of COVID-19, and there are over 500 Scout groups, often those in the most deprived areas of the country that have been disproportionately affected by COVID-19. And these groups are running out of money. And so that isn't a good news story, but Scouts being Scouts, our response is to actually launch a fundraising appeal today called, as you say, Race Around the World. We're encouraging young people, Scouts throughout the UK, to get involved, to raise money by travelling a mile or more in whichever means they choose. That could be running, hiking, cycling, and then through that we will raise the money to support those 500 groups that are most at risk.
And how are the Scouts doing generally? I know my daughter's in the Guides, and they've managed to adapt a bit. They're having very short, small sessions every week rather than sort of the big groups. But they do seem to be trying to adapt. But obviously that also has a knock on. It takes up more time for leaders and that sort of thing. How are Scouts adapting?
Yeah, well, when we first went into lockdown, we launched something called the Great Indoors, which was over 200 activities that Scouts and non-Scouts could participate in to do activities at home. And about 550,000 families took part in that. And then subsequently, local leaders, we've got about 160,000 adult volunteers, have been running sessions on Zoom throughout the summer. And more recently, we've seen the return of about 40% of our groups returning face-to-face scouting, obviously socially distanced, COVID secure, risk assessed, but actually getting young people outside, which is making such a difference to their mental health and well-being. And really, we want to continue that, but we are worried nevertheless about these groups that are running out of money because they haven't been able to fundraise. And, ultimately, like everything, every pound we spend, every minute we give is going to shape the society we want to see through the pandemic. So if you have got family or loved ones involved in Scouting, or just if you're dedicated and supportive of the cause, please go to scouts.org.uk and support this new campaign.
Well, I was about to ask you how people can help out, and you've done it for me. So really good to speak to you, Matt Hyde, the Chief Executive of the Scouts there. Sorry that we're a bit pushed.